someone is like in a weak state of mind, maybe they're battling with depression, fear, anxiety, those type of things, how would you recommend for like, what is your word of advice for someone that deals with that constantly?
You know, you said affirmations. Earlier, I told you about the two different aspects that create thoughts. One, subconscious thinking, and the other is conscious thinking. So subconscious thinking are all the stored information that we've carried, all the programming that we've had from our social norm, family, society, culture, whatever. A lot of these programmed subconscious thoughts are negative. That's why affirmations are so important, because affirmations are usually positive. And they help to subdue some of those negative thoughts that keep emerging. Because if there were positive thoughts, we wouldn't have an issue with them. Okay? So if we were programmed by our family, friends, society with positive information and positive, you know, programming, it would not be an issue. We would not need affirmations, because that would be already the program. But the program is negative. So we need positive affirmation to replace the negative affirmation. I mean, negative programming. The best time to listen to those affirmations when you first wake up in the morning or right before you go to bed at night, because of the energy that we are carrying at that time, which is called theta. Theta is a hypnotic vibrational field, and it helps to replace the negative influences or the negative subconscious programming that we've been programmed with all of our lives. So that's why I think before bed and right after rising is the best time to do affirmations. And you can do it throughout the day as well, but those two times are the best times.
Amazing, amazing. So definitely, Zara, if you're listening to this, this is a great way to go ahead and implement those things, especially if you're someone who is like, you watch the news all the time and you're hearing about things like, you know, what's happening in Afghanistan and, you know, things that are happening all around the world. It can be very easy for you to have all those things in your subconscious mind, and then you start to worry and wonder about your own life. And it's something, you know, we naturally inclined to listening to what others say and what the news projects, and so that makes us really get into a state of mind where we're like worried and anxious. And if you don't take care of yourself daily, I always say self-care is necessary. It's not just once a day or once a week. It's something that you want to implement daily, because just like when we go and take a shower at night, we are washing off everything from our body, from the external. But what about your mind? What about your soul, your spirit? What about the things that you think about? Are you cleansing yourself? Are you giving your body and your mind a bath? You know?
Absolutely. You know, it's so important. And like I said, everything is in translation. You know, if you are programmed with negative thoughts and I say something to you, how are you going to translate that? You're already programmed negative. So it doesn't matter what I say to you. That's how you're going to translate it. 95% of your being is programmed to be negative. You know, so when I say something, you won't be able to receive it in the fullness that I'm trying to explain that to you. You're going to translate it according to your being.
Yeah.
So until you're able to, as you say, wash that off, okay, your receptors are going to translate just how you are being. So, it's very, very important for us to, to have positive affirmations and change our negative programming, change our conditioning, and try to, become, what we are to become, so we can communicate at a higher level, so that we can shift our level of vibration, so that we can prevent ourselves from all the negative influences that are coming in, whether they are viral, parasitic, chemical, or whatever.
Absolutely. Oh, and I also want to touch on this too. At what age would you say that you kind of like, I know there's something called awakening, right? There's an awakening that we have, because before, of course, we're born into the world, and most of us, okay, including myself, was born into a lot of a toxic environment. Like, yeah, our parents raised us, but we were unconscious of the chemicals and all these things that are around us. We were kids. We're going by what mommy and daddy taught us. And for someone who is like in that transition phase, I'm thinking of somebody who is just, they're like, okay, I feel like I need to make this change, but I don't know how to. And I know it's going to take a lot of discipline, but I don't know how exactly to get myself in that position. What would you recommend for somebody? This is going to take you a little bit back to when you finally said, you know what, I need to change my lifestyle. Let's talk about that, because I remember you telling me your story, but I want you to share with others that awakening time of your life.
Well, with me, it's probably a little bit older than most. That's why I say every human being has a Buddha in them and has an opportunity to become a Christ, whichever one you want to use. I think we all mature at different stages, all depending upon our programming. And I know that it was in my early 30s that I recognized that I needed to relieve the suffering from myself. And I use the word suffering because we're all suffering. Every one of us are experiencing some form of suffering, irregardless of the condition that we have, whether we have money, no money, we have a disease, healthy. We all have some form of suffering that we are experiencing, okay? It's how we choose to relate or how we choose to react to that suffering that changes, our experience. So I think we all have different times when we will mature and start recognizing that I want to be a better person, or I want to become closer to I want to be able to vibrate closer to my source, or and recognize what I'm truly here to experience. So there isn't a particular time for any human.
Right.
They have to be, it's a journey that they all have to individually have for themselves.
Right, absolutely. I like that you said that it's not a particular time.
No.
Because it's just, sometimes it happens. It can happen at a young age.
It happens at a young age. Sometimes it happens at an older stage.
Right.
Yeah.
So for anyone that's listening and they're like, man, I just haven't gotten to that point yet. Maybe they're 40, they're 50, and they still haven't, gotten to that point. It happens. It comes to you. And just speaking for myself, like, of course I'm young, but I've seen a lot of people like wake up at an older age, like with my dad. He did the best that he could to like, raise me in a healthy household. But there's something about as we aged on, later on in his life, I realized that he started to tap more into the spiritual side of himself. He's worked a lot all his life. And it was like, as soon as he began to settle down, I'm seeing him change. And I'm like, Dad, you really kind of changing. And I realized everybody's on a journey. So if you're in that place of mind where you're like, man, like everybody's accelerating, people are just living life differently, I'm still stuck in this place and I can't figure it out, I have a lot of kids, or wherever you are in life, it's not a race. Life is a marathon. And just like how Patrick just broke it down, it's like it's not a particular time. It happens. And when it happens, that's the time where you start to wake up and tap into your higher source. For me, for those who are, Christian, tap into Christ, tap into God. Start reading more, start praying more. Get in a routine with your life where you can actually be more disciplined with your health, because it does take discipline. Would you say that as well?
Oh, absolutely. And the word discipline just means practice.
Practice.
So as we start practicing eating better, as we start practicing using, healthier, products for our bodies, that helps to increase or improve our receptors so that we can receive information a little bit more from our natural environment. And as you say, discipline. Discipline simply just means how much practice you put into something. My discipline is herbs. I enjoy utilizing natural herbs to make my foods. I don't use powdered spices, I use fresh spices. I don't use dry stuff. I use fresh products. I don't eat from cans. I don't eat fast foods. I mean, foods without minerals. I try to make sure that everything has the highest quality minerals in it. That helps to increase my receptivity to everything. When I see something that's suffering, I feel it. I don't just ignore what's around me. I try to be engaged in all the natural part of life. I don't just look at things as just material benefits to me. There's some things that may not benefit me materially, but it offers something at a higher, it's hard to explain. I'm a lot more sensitive now as I tap into my spiritual side.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main difference, is how sensitive I am to my surrounding, how much I pay attention to my surrounding. I don't ignore my surrounding as I used to, just to go find material benefits every day.
Right.
I got up this morning and I made sure that I had my fruits. I made sure that I made some vegetables to eat. I didn't just run to the fast food store. I didn't just drink coffee. I knew that, it wasn't gonna give me the best information that I wanted to express to you today. The music that I listened to was very soothing, relaxing, because that's how I want to express myself. That's how I want you to receive me. So if I want you to receive me in a particular way, I have to basically I have to put into my system how I would like to express out as well. I can't just put anything inside of me and expect something incredible to come out. So those are some of the things that I pay attention to every single day of my life. And that's my discipline. That's my practice. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time and a lot of sacrifice to do this every single day.
I love it. I love it. And this is just reminding me, this is what P3 Lotus Living is.
It's what
a
it
lifestyle. I love it. I love it. So you really have broken down a lot for us. And what I usually do at the end of the podcast, I usually do a memorable moment. So I'm thinking of the person who is desiring to enhance their lifestyle. I want you to give just like one word of advice for the person who is wanting to transition into a healthier lifestyle using more herbs and plants and seeds. What would you recommend, or what's some advice that you can give us?
Whenever we're looking to transition into a healthier lifestyle, the first thing we have to do is to learn, first of all, how to relax. Okay? Just be relaxed. Find a way to just relax your mind, your body. It will all come to you. Everything you're looking for will happen if you're in a relaxed state. Be patient with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Be humble. Be gentle. All those words are synonymous to me, to this one word. Just be loving to yourself. And once you can be loving to yourself, you can be loving to others. And everything you accept in your body will be loving to you. And you will attract nothing but love. I mean, look at this. You asked me to be here.
Yeah.
That's nothing but love. My man Ross over here and his wife took the time to come all the way from Stone Mountain in the middle of the week just to show that love. If you are not paying attention and being loving to you, nobody else is gonna pay attention and be loving to you. But they recognize how loving I am to myself. They recognize that in me. So they show me love. Am I deserving of it? I don't know. All I know is I show myself love first. And once I show myself love first, that's when I can show love to you. Because I can't if I don't love me. I don't even know what love is if I can't show it to myself. So the first thing I would recommend, just be loving. Find relaxation in your life. Be patient. And that's it. Love yourself.
This sums up everything. That is amazing. So if you've gotten anything from this podcast episode, that was fulfilling. That was fulfilling. I felt that. The love, it just sums it up of it all. And I thank you so much for coming out. I thank you so much for just sharing with us what it's like to live a P3 Lotus Living lifestyle. Thank you for sharing your products. And also too, he has a website. Patrick has a website. It's actually
P3-Lotus-Living.com.
And he's also on Instagram as well, so you can connect with him there.
P3 Lotus Living. Facebook, P3 Lotus Living. I'm all P3 Lotus Living.
P3 Lotus Living.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, is there any last words that you want to leave with us?
Man, I'm just so appreciative. I'm so grateful to be here. I feel amazing. You know, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
Awesome.